Yeah, so just be for the moment. Just be with whatever is. Listen to my voice. Open up for it. But do not give it to your mind. Allow the words to swoosh by the mind and go into your being. So the words doesn't have to make sense to the reasoning mind. So relax. Relax the reasoning mind. Relax the function that has control. Relax into this space that we have created together. Lean into this field of awareness that we are in. And know that you are welcome. You are even longed for. You're super embraced and loved. In this awareness, right here. So just relax into these words, relax into this being. Allow whatever is going on, whatever is present, allow it to be. And become aware of what is going on right now. So feel the body. The whole body, let your awareness be omnidirectional, open in all directions. So allow yourself to become softer Allow yourself to become a bit dizzy even, as you're not holding on to the fixed structures of reference. You may become a bit dizzy, and allow that to be. Not knowing if you're sitting upright or leaning a little bit to the side. You don't need to know. Not knowing from where you are experiencing. You don't really need to know what you are that is experiencing this. You don't even need to know what you think about all of this. So just allow this free floating, this non-settled state of being. Allow yourself to settle in that non-settled experience. Allow yourself to relax. In an environment you're not familiar with. And just observe your own mind. Just observe your mind and see what is happening in it. Allow yourself to as you relax and awareness increases, to become aware of areas that are not relaxed. Allow them to become experienced and to be okay as they are in their non-relaxed state. Be relaxed, observing the non-relaxation. Allow yourself to sink deeper into consciousness. into a relaxed consciousness. So this is not about you doing things. This is about you relaxing, observing, just being, just being. And observing the doing that is happening. So again, observe your mind. Observe what is going on in experience. But don't meddle. Don't direct the experience. So don't stop anything that is being done. And don't initiate any activities. Just be with what is. And there may be pressure building up. Energetic pressure experienced. Allow that to be. Be that relaxed observing the non-relaxation. Thoughts appearing, thinking being done. It's not really being done by you. It is happening. But don't mistake yourself for the one doing the thinking. Look closely at who is actually doing the thinking of what you used to define as your thoughts. and see if you find anyone doing the thinking apart from the thought construct itself. See if there's any more reality to it apart from the very thoughts themselves thinking that there is a thinker. All this thinking going on, all this activity, on whose behalf is it being thought? On whose behalf are the activities initiated? See if you can find that one. But it's not a doing that takes you there. It is a non-doing, a relaxing. So whatever itch or pressure or subtle uncomfortableness that is being experienced in your experience, allow that to be and just experience it. And you may see a tendency to want to avoid it, to diminish it or put it out of your experience, but stay with it. Stay with the feeling of nervous energy. And just relax in that experience. Allow whatever pressure or whatever aberration that you may feel in your experience. Allow that very signal, that energy to shine in. Allow that signal to penetrate in and fill your system, knowing that that very signal itself is light and awareness. Allow that intelligence to flood your system. Welcome it as a signal carrying information that is intelligence. Open up for and let that fill your system. So what we're really doing is disidentifying from the resistance and relaxing the resistance and moving our identification into the awareness that is flooding in, that is being resisted. So we're moving from resistance into flow. Into openness and spaciousness. And as we do this, what we find is the very signal that was experienced as a contraction, the very same signal is actually a expansion. An expansion towards infinity. So just stay with the experience. Stay with it regardless of what it contains. Allow for intensity. Allow for physical sensations. even allow for thoughts of doubt, thoughts of judgment, of resistance. Allow all of that to also be in experience. So just observe your mind. Just observe what is going on inside your mind. And allow yourself to experience rigid structures. Allow them to be. Just experiencing them. The experience in itself is enough. That is awareness. So all these structures that we have created, structure of what I am, what you are, what the outside world is, any structure of what is what, places experiences into compartments and concepts. And it gives the limited mind a sense of control of experience, a sense of safety and security. And what these structures essentially are, they are limitations. There are limitations, and inside of those limitations, the ego feels safe. And when we allow these structures to fall away or we venture outside of them, the ego feels threatened. do not have to identify yourself with the limitations. You don't have to be identified in these structures. You can be free from the limitations. Allowing the structures to be as they are. But you are not limited by them. So as you relax, you will start to become more and more aware of these structures inside of you. Don't fight them. Don't pretend they do not exist. Just allow them to be without resistance. It is the very resistance that keeps you a prisoner of these structures. So it is as easy as allow whatever unfolds in experience. Allow that to unfold. And allow the light of that experience to fully illuminate your system without creating resistance and barriers, blocking yourself off from the experience happening in awareness. Doing this and looking for the self, we find infinity. Looking at ourselves, we find a infinite expansion without limitations. As the very sense of I. Without being threatened by that experience. So I do not really go anywhere. I do not make a journey somewhere. But the I that is looking out is experiencing a huge transformation of the very I itself. So it's the point of perspective, the viewpoint that undergoes a dramatic transformation of identification. So it's about allowing yourself to transform into something you have no idea of what it is. And that is infinitely out of your control. And in all of this, you never leave the I. So just observe your mind. Just be with whatever experience is unfolding in your mind and observe your mind. And I say again, allow, accept, embrace intensity in the experience. Love is that which embraces all, which itself cannot be reduced into concepts. It is transcendent of mind. So allow yourself to transcend into that, which is embracing all, regardless of what the experience is. Allow yourself to be in loving acceptance of whatever experience that is unfolding. allowing the contraction to be, and allowing your identification to be that love which is also embracing the contraction. So the contraction remains, but you are not bound by it. Free from the contraction. There is no need to dissolve it, because it's not limiting you in any way. So whatever resistance you have to the current situation you are in life, whatever worries there may be, whatever areas of non-control that you want to bring into control, just allow it to be. And inside of yourself, embrace the uncertainty. Allowing the uncertainty to be without bringing your identification into one of uncertainty. Allow yourself to stay open and not contract into that grasping energy that wants control. You can remain relaxed and open, regardless of experience. This does not mean that we stop acting in the world as a person, but we act from openness and acceptance, and not from fear or wanting to control from inside a contraction. So allow any contraction in your system to be experienced, to be felt. And allow that signal to flood your system and fill you. Because what you really is experiencing is the resistance to awareness. is so much awareness present right now, wanting to enter. So much love wanting to step into us. And we just need to allow it to happen. By opening ourselves up, by embracing what is contracting, by allowing that signal to be full experience, and receiving the intelligence of what is resisted. What we may experience as a resistance is itself the very expansion. The expansion into the unknown that we are resisting, staying inside of control, which is the structures of limitation. So allow for the flow, allow energy to dance, allow life force to fill your being and dance in you, to not block it off by resisting it. Allow yourself to expand way beyond what is known to you. Allow yourself to not stay in the known, but venture into the unknown. Venture into what is experienced as darkness where you cannot see, and stay there until it does become seen to you what is there. The unknown becomes known as you allow yourself to venture into it and stay there. Thus you expand. Just know this. You are not the thoughts. You are not the one thinking the thoughts. That is not your true nature. You do not need to identify with the one thinking or with the thoughts. Thoughts themselves are creating the appearance of the one who is doing the thinking. You do not need to buy into that grammatization. You do not need to limit yourself to that construct. So allow yourself to open the door to the unknown. Step through that door. And even allow yourself to make movements in that dark, unknown room. Allow yourself to stay there and exist and move about there. And as you stay, that territory also becomes known to you. Just because it's unknown and you are blind to it, doesn't mean you can't enter into it and move about in it. It is only your perception that is blind, not your movement. Perception will come if you allow yourself to stay. So allow yourself to move into what you may be afraid of. Allow yourself to be afraid. Don't be afraid of being afraid. Allow yourself to stay in the fear. And also the fear becomes known and familiar to you. And you will find that there is nothing to fear in fear. There is nothing to resist. in resistance. And there is no darkness in darkness once you have entered into it and decided to stay there. Because you are the light of awareness. So the last few minutes I invite you to stay in this space that you have entered and remain in this space while you open your eyes slowly. So the invitation is to be in this space with eyes open. Allow the room to come into your experience without changing the level of awareness that you are in. So allow the eyes to be open and fully functioning without really giving your awareness to the visual sensations. And just observe your mind juggling about in this. Internal and external reality. Be aware of that process as it unfolds.